In Phase 4 verification and analysis, credibility assessment is a structured and evidence-based process used to determine which version of events is most plausible when investigators are faced with conflicting testimony. Rather than relying on intuition or gut feelings, investigators apply rational criteria and evaluate all available information on the balance of probabilities standard, meaning a finding is made when something is more likely than not to have occurred. A key component of credibility assessment involves evaluating several established factors. Investigators consider the inherent plausibility of an account, whether the story makes logical sense and aligns with known facts. They also assess whether a witness has any motive to falsify information, such as personal conflict, fear of consequences, or potential gain. Corroboration is another critical factor, including whether statements are supported by independent witnesses, documents, electronic records, or physical evidence. Consistency over time is also important, as credible accounts tend to remain stable across multiple retellings, while contradictions may signal uncertainty or unreliability. In addition, investigators evaluate the witness's ability to perceive events accurately, taking into account their physical location, environmental conditions, and attentional factors at the time of the incident. In some cases, prior documented behavior may also be considered, particularly where patterns of similar misconduct are relevant and properly supported by evidence. An important distinction in credibility assessment is the difference between honesty and reliability. Honesty refers to whether a person is sincerely reporting what they believe to be true, while reliability refers to the accuracy of their perception and memory. A witness may therefore be honest but still inaccurate, resulting in what is sometimes described as a truthfully incorrect account. This distinction is important because investigative conclusions must account for both intent and the limitations of human memory and perception. Demeanor and body language may also be observed during interviews, but they must be treated with caution and never used as the primary basis for determining truthfulness. Cultural differences can influence behavior such as eye contact or gestures, and stress reactions can vary widely among individuals, meaning nervousness or emotional responses do not necessarily indicate deception. Instead, investigators focus more appropriately on whether the witness's emotional response is consistent with the seriousness and context of the situation. For findings to be legally defensible under standards such as Cochran, the investigator must demonstrate that a reasoned conclusion was reached. This requires clearly documenting how credibility determinations were made, including the specific evidence that supported preferring one version of events over another. Vague conclusions such as unsubstantiated are insufficient without explanation, as they do not show the reasoning process behind the finding. Courts and tribunals generally expect investigators to articulate why certain evidence was accepted or rejected. Ultimately, credibility assessment in Phase 4 is about systematically evaluating evidence, reconciling conflicting accounts, and providing transparent reasoning for conclusions. This disciplined approach ensures that investigations are fair, objective, and capable of withstanding legal scrutiny.